1 minute. Okay. Today is a very special day. It's the day which we call the redemption day of the previous Rebbe of Chabad, Rabbi Yoseph Yitzhak Schneorson. זכותו תגן עלינו. And this day is remarked in Chabad. We call it a redemption day. Why we call it redemption day? Because what happened in the same day, and we're here to tell the story. So, and how it's affecting every one of us, and what is the method we should take for this story. So the previous Rebbe lived mainly in the last years of the previous century and the beginning until 1910. No, until 1950. Until 1950. And he was the Rebbe of Chabad for many years. And he the one that the Rebbe of Chabad that was during the World War II. And before that, also, the status of the Judaism in Europe in general, in Russia in particular, was extremely, extremely hard. In Russia, they were not allowed to gather to do Brit Milah or to keep mikveh or to keep Judaism in any manner. And the Rebbe, the previous Rebbe, Rabbi Yoseph Yitzhak Schneorson, he decided that he cannot keep quiet against it. He's supposed to send his people all over Russia, and in Europe also he had many effects, but mainly in Russia it was forbidden to Jews to keep their Judaism, and the Russia at that time was very big, bigger than today. And he sent his people all over, and they have been building mikveh underground, and they were keeping Judaism and helping making a class, schools, silenced without that the government would catch. Some of them have been catched, and some of them sentenced to exile, and some of them even sentenced to death. And they decided that no matter what, they will go and they say they will give their life for keeping and observing the Judaism. It was different era than today. People that time really had to self-sacrifice in order to live their Judaism, especially in that area. And the Rebbe in extreme hard work and self-sacrifice, he and his people and the Hasidim, the Hasidim might be Baal HaSulam also. I see the question, might be also Baal HaSulam. I don't know exactly the years of the Baal HaSulam. But in that time, it was a time that to live the Judaism right, it was really self-sacrifice. And the Rebbe requested and made some of the Hasidim to promise about it. They will do all what they can in order that Judaism will thrive and will not be discarded and will not be forgotten during this time. The Rebbe understood it's a time of test to Am Yisrael before the redemption. And he understood that for Am Yisrael now, they need to show resilience in order to keep the Judaism in the right way. And the Judaism will not be forgotten. And they did it for many years. After a walk, just a second. One minute, sorry. So the Rebbe have been noticed by the Soviets that he is moving such activity, and he's activating such level, such way against the ruling of the Soviet government. And they decided to arrest him. And the story of the arrest has been described in a detailed diary that Rebbe left for us. And in 15th of Sivan, Tafresh Pei Chet, let me see exactly, Tafresh Pei Chet, wait a second, let me see exactly, I don't remember, I think it's Tafresh Pei Chet, soon I will tell you. He was arrested and taken to the Soviet Union offices, the jail in the area in his area, and they started to investigate him. And during these investigations, they hit him, and they told him that he's not going to come out alive from the jail. And the Rebbe was not ready to even to bow down for them. Just for you to understand, I will tell you some story from the diary of the Rebbe. That one of the days they came, few officers, one of them were Jews actually, a Jew that left, that was Hasid actually, and that became non-religious and started to work in the jail of the Soviets. And he came and with few people to the cell of the Rebbe, and the Rebbe was not, they wanted to discuss with him. The Rebbes were not ready even to stand. They said that he made with himself an agreement before he entered to the jail, that their reality of the police people, there is no real reality for them. He is not giving for them any kind of importance in his mind, because he knows that he's a Jew and he's above the nature. And he entered with this mind. Whatever they tell him, they are nobody for him. So in the same, they had many difficult investigations to him. They hit him many times. And the Rebbe was not well before he entered to this investigation, but in this investigation he was very long, getting very, very much, a lot of torturing. One of the events that we said that they entered to the cell, that they told him, stand up. He said, he didn't even respond. They hit him. They told him again, after sometimes they came again, told him, you stand up. Otherwise, we don't want to hit you. He was not listening to him. They hit him again. Yes, it could be in the same time. Yes. So I see your message. They hit him again, and they reached the situation in the third time also. They came in the same day. 3 times they hit him, and the Rebbe described that the pain that he felt in the face didn't left him for a long time. In the same time, all the Hasidim was out. Everyone was very much feeling a lot of pain from the situation that the Rebbe is arrested. And everyone was trying to put connection, etc. In the day of 3rd Tamuz, which was 10 days ago, they called him in the same event after they hit him 3 times in the same day. They called him to the office of the Soviets, so of the manager of the jail. They said, and he saw a note there. saw his name written there, and he said he saw that one line was deleted, a line written about it, and then another line was deleted, and then another line was decided, and this was his sentence. The first line was that he's supposed to sentence to death. This is deleted. To miracles, to Hashem that helped, to people that put efforts. And then he saw that there is 10 years in Siberia. And he saw it's also this slide deleted. And then another line was written 3 years in Kastarma. Kastarma is also next to Siberia. And this is what they decided. The Rebbe, in the same day on Gimel Tamuz, sent to Kastarma, to the same city, and reached to there, and he finds there a village of very few Jewish there, but it's very far people, very simple Jews. There is no simple Jew. We know that the Rebbe never think like that, but people who are not Torah scholars in the sense that they learn in yeshiva, etc. People who living their life, good Jewish, but this is who he had there. And that time, the fear from the Soviets used to be tremendous. But still, the Rebbe came there and observed Judaism. After 10 days, in today's day, 12 Tamuz, the Rebbe was announced that he is free. And not just they make him free, they sent him in a first-class ticket. And they sent with him people to grant him to go back to Moscow, to Lubavitch, and to Moscow, to the cities where he was active. And then the Rebbe said a very big sentence. He said, not just me, God saved today. He saved any person which is called, which is named Israel, from the nation of Israel. He saved any one of them. And to understand that, we need to understand what is mean Rebbe, and what is mean that the Rebbe actually saved many people with him. First of all, we can understand it's very in the surface. The Rebbe was stood strong about the right of a Jew to perform his religion, even against the most difficult empire in that time. That they are the most strict about it. They didn't want to hear any kind of religion. And with his power, in the power of that he never bowed down, he makes them to admit on his rights to continue in his work. Obviously, this is lead immediately to situation which Jewish less was difficult to keep the Judaism, which was before the arrest, because they arrested him as a symbol. The leader of the Jews have been arrested and going to sentence to death. And once they release him, obviously it's affected everyone in Russia. They knew that the leader of the Jews got freed. He stood on his own, and they apologized to him. And that not yet a situation which Am Yisrael it's taken time until the people of Russia was totally free to keep the Judaism, but it started in the same day that it's become a proved thing to keep the Judaism. And more than that, the Rebbe, he was in charge to make sure that everyone has the ability to keep Judaism in the right way. Once the Rebbe is released, which means the entire work of spreading the Judaism and spreading the welfare the Torah of the Chasidut, which is a way of the Jewish to understand and communicate with God, as for the secrets of Torah, as for the Kabbalah, but make it accessible to everyone to reach to Hashem in his own way, like the way the Baal Shem Tov started. And understand a little bit about divinity. Understand how to look on the world in divine way. This work has been granted actually today. Once he came out from the jail. And another level, the parasha said that Anasi, the Rashi extended on the pasuk of the parasha, I forgot the pasuk, but he's mentioned it. Anasi hu hakol. I remember when there is an offering of the Am Yisrael, Anasi of hu hakol, which means there isn't one soul of everyone, of every generation, of Moshe of the generation. And the story of him is the story of the entire nation. Once the main soul, the Moshe of the generation, has been arrested of being Jewish and has been released because he stands for his Judaism, it's uplifted the entire ability of Judaism, of the Jewish, the entire way, to stand strong of the Judaism, because the Hanasi, the head of the nation, is everything. I would like to show you a short video of a story of the lady who was staying in Kastarma, in the same city where the Rebbe was exiled to, and she tells from in her own words the experience and how she saw the events, how it happened in the same time. Elisheva, if you can, share the video.
Rabbi. In 1927, the communist authorities sentenced the sixth Rebbe, Rabbi Yoseph Yitzhak of Lubavitch, to 3 years of exile in an attempt to cripple his efforts to keep Judaism alive in Russia. He was sent to Kostroma, a small city over 400 miles away from his headquarters in Leningrad. Miraculously, he was released from his exile after just 10 days. During his time in Kostroma, the previous Rebbes stayed with the family of the local shochet, Rebbe Yerachmiel Kugel. Rebbe Yerachmiel's daughter, Rosa, was 12 years old at the time.
Его это прислал, был такой у нас, тоже к нам приехал с Ленинграда, выслали, Кузнецов Арон. У него отец был, если я не ошибаюсь, был председателем в Ленинграде. Его тоже посадили и даже присудили расстрел, и его расстреляли. Он был очень хороший и добрый человек, доброй души человек. И действительно, у него было что-то такое, понимаете, божественное, правильно, его назвали Богом. И у меня в памяти остался он, как наш Бог. Очень хороший был. К нему все относились, к этому Ребе, большим уважением. Не только евреи, но и православные. А уж про отца, ты говоришь, отца он очень уважал, мать уважал. Но мама готовила на них, и отец тоже все был. И у нас каждую субботу молились. В общем, все выполняли, что положено. И у нас закрыли ведь синагогу, и у нас была как синагога. Все, что там были, и книжки. Вот я говорю, 13 штук Торы. Торы вот такие большие, тяжелые, нельзя было поднять. Они, конечно, это забрали, но они сказали, что не вернули нам, ничего они не вернули. А у меня был брат тоже очень религиозный. А он им сказал, и они начали, знаете, так грубо все, и кидать начали Тору. Он сказал, вы не имеете права до них дотрагаться. У вас поганые руки, не смейте трогать. Они тоже было его забрали, но его отпустили, конечно. Так они его в психушку направили. Вот такие. Мы пережили много чего. А было придраться к нему незачем. Они молились, и Тору читали, и книжки читали. У нас был очень хороший круг евреев, то они очень стеснялись. Даже у нас жил такой часовщик, Розенсон Залик Алексеевич. Он сказал, я даже не имею права на его глядеть. Что это святой человек. Так они залезали все, которые нас знали, через забор только к нему. И он вообще-то он принимал, кто к нему приходил, принимал. И халы делала, и все. У нас была большая русская печка, была заслонка, все. И на керосинке готовила все. И он очень много, ему покупали мы ягод, очень много клубники. Очень много он употреблял клубнику. Уж не знаю, как мама варила или нет ему. Но, конечно, был большой такой стол во дворе. Двор у нас был большой. Высыпали, и он кушал. И всех угощал. Он был очень добрый. И очень хороший человек. Он благословлял. Каждое утро, когда он приходил, спрашивал, как мы чувствуемся, молитву читал, опять уходил. И дома занимался. Только все время у него были книжки. Он и читал и Торы, и книги, все. У нас было много еврейских книг. Все. Пожелал нам всем здоровья, и чтобы мы не знали этого горя, какого он перенес. Но он рассказывал, сколько он всего пережил, волосы дыбом стоят. Ужас, как они над ним издевались. Он был 10 дней, его вообще-то присудили ему здесь отсиживать в Костроме. Но он только 10 дней, его провожали, такой сделали ему, как говорится, прям такие проводы сделали. Они у него, конечно, извинения попросили. И если мне не изменяет память, то у него был отдельный вагон. Вот. И так, в общем, проводили его, конечно, хорошо. Очень хорошо.
אלירני, תפתח את הרמקול.
Thank you very much.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, yes.
I'm in Israel right now, and it's not yet sunset. It's only 6 o'clock here. So is it the 11th of Tamuz? And tomorrow will be the 12th
No,
of Tamuz?
tomorrow is the 13th of Tamuz. Today morning was 12, tonight will be the 13th.
So, okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we'll come back to what we see. The story of the Rebbe, we can see what she described in the end of the video, that he was tortured, but in the end they escorted him with a grand respect and grand apology. Now we'll see the connection to this parasha. This parasha is Parashat Balak. Balak Ben Tzipor was one when Am Yisrael came out of Egypt. Balak was a king of the Moabites. And Bilam was a wizard. In that time, they knew how to use this kind of power, and especially some of them, and he was a one that was hired by King Balak to curse Am Yisrael. The Midrash said that Balak was, the Bilam was a great magician that knew how to understand when God is angry on some person or some different on some nation, and in the same moment to mention, to request whatever he wants that the same nation will have, and by this he would able to curse many people, and he ought to create a situation which you could do benefit some people. And he was hired by the king Balak. The story said that King Balak was sent to, just a second. So the king Balak sent few messengers to Bilam, which was in a different city. He was in Midian, and he sent him people. And in the same night, Bilam, he tells them, "I want you to stay here for tonight. I want to ask." And he did what he did. That in the night he got the answer from God. Don't go with them. It's a blessed nation. In the morning, they told him that. Then Balak told him, if you want more money, I will give you more money. Please come and curse them. He again asked God that he sent some big ministers to him, and they told him, okay, God told him, you want to get the money? You want to get this? No problem, go there. But whatever I will put in your mouth, this is what you're going to talk. Then he already understood that he's not working properly. The Torah continues and tells the story. But Bilam took his donkey and started to go towards the city of Moab. He rode on the donkey, and in the way, the donkey pushed him to the wall, doesn't listen to him. He hit her few times, and then suddenly the Torah tells that the donkey started to talk. What happened? The donkey saw and felt presence of angel of God, which was stopping her to not go. And then the donkey was asking Balak, why you hitting me? Why you hit me? And he said, if I had a sword now, I would kill you. That you are not subordinate to me. And then Hashem also opened the eyes of Bilam, and he realized that the donkey didn't do from herself. There is an angel that's stopping her. And then he asked him, what do you want me to go back? God already told me that I should allow to go. He said, no, if you want to continue, you continue. But I warn you, whatever I will put in your mouth, this is what you talk. They reached to the place of Moab. They reached to the city of Moab. In the city of Moab, Now they enter, and Balak, the king, is accepting them in open hands, and he tells him, why you didn't come so far? And Bilam answered him, whatever that he allowed to do, whatever God let him do. He's not in his own hands. Then they continue. Bilam requesting to Balak to build 7 altars to give offering in front of God. And he's starting to prophesy himself. 3 times he's doing the same ceremony of the altars. And he putting 7 animals, actually 14, 7 from the flock, 7 from the beef. And he doing the same ceremony 3 times. And every time you get a prophecy, and instead of saying curse to Am Yisrael, he say bless. He say a blessing to Am Yisrael, and he actually, in one of his prophecies, which mentioned in this parasha, he mentions the Moshiach. He was the one that mentioned Moshiach that before, very clear actually. In the prophecy of Yaakov and Moshe, it's there, but almost not very straight. But in the Balak, it's very clear. And Bilam is saying prophecies which is talking about how Am Yisrael he will have a lot of enemies, but no one will succeed to remove him. And how Am Yisrael will continue even with all the troubles. Now, the inner side of the Torah wants us to see, yes, today we are not familiar with such a concept that people are able to do such magic powers. There are some people who are using very ancient techniques, but most of it doesn't know anymore. Yes, in the Torah, there is a lot of secrets of Torah which is there to known and understood, but the Torah not allowed to use it. Torah allowed us to use power of praying, which is actually the biggest sin. The Torah allows us to use many other, the power of Torah, power of mitzvot, which is much stronger than everything. But in that time, it used to be, people used to use it. However, the Torah, the Torah is forever, and it's supposed to teach us something in any time of moment. And as we know, the Rambam writes that everything in the Torah is happened, but is also an analogy. Analogy is something that we're supposed to learn. Kol mashal. So everything is also we need to learn and to understand. We know that Hashem created the world with the Midat Adin, with the judgment side, and there is Midat HaChesed, the kindness side, and the middle one is the Midat HaRachamim, which is the mercy, which is mediate between them. There is all the time the conflict in this world between the bad and the good. And this conflict also exists with every one of us in the heart, that we need to overcome the bad that we have in our side with the good that we got in our neshama, in our soul. And this constant fighting is always there. And the Yetzer Hara is what we call the Satan, is represented as the evil power that we have between us that tells us that we cannot be blessed, cannot become close to Hashem. I see that people today who didn't notice that we started by 8, but never mind. We'll continue. So, indeed, the power of the Yetzer Hara is just to catch where God is angry on us. And then to mention it again and again, not in front of God only, also in front of us, that we will remember why we're not supposed to come closer to God. This is not the power of Yetzer Hara. And this is also the power of the entire evil, which we're supposed to overcome it, to get insist. That no, we have the blessing of God. And because we have the blessing of God, we are going to be strong over any kind of something that avoid us to become closer to Him. Even if it's internal, even if it's external. The same thing the Rebbe with today, 12 Tamuz, which came out from the jail. He also shows that whatever is the Soviet government, which was against to keep any kind of Judaism, in the end, even a bad angel will say Amen, like Bilam in this parasha. What did Bilam did? Bilam, in the end, he had to, he forced to say they are supposed to get all the blessing. Hashem in the same, the Midrash said it in the same treat, in the same few days which Bilam did these offerings and tried to curse Am Yisrael, Hashem made himself to not be angry at all on Am Yisrael. However, Bilam wanted, which means the evil power really working hard to make us to be scared, to make us to be affected, to make us to be intimidated that we will not do the right thing. He will do all what he's supposed to do. In our internal being, the Yetzer Hara will convince us in all kind of convincement, in all of kind of excuses that we are not supposed to do mitzvot and Torah, but we are still winning it. And Am Yisrael survive with the Torah and mitzvot. And the same thing, the general story of Am Yisrael, there is all the time whom will try to limit our growth as a nation to receive and to represent the voice of God in the world. We see what happened today. The entire world coming against Am Yisrael, but still Am Yisrael stay resilient. And he believed in God the same way like the Rebbe stood, did not agree to do what the Soviets tells him, and even if they hit him few times, in the head they had to apologize and send him a big courage and a big way. And where it's lead? It's lead to situation which the Rebbe reached after that to America, to United States. There the Chabad movement became so big and so effective to the entire Jewish diaspora and spread out the voice of Judaism and the voice of Chasidut such a big way that every one of us today have some way to get connect with Hashem through the work of the Rebbe. Just to understand how the miracle was very noticeable, from being a person that were hated by the Soviets, after that he sent with the courage we said and with respected way, no one were allowed to leave the Soviet Union, but the Rebbe left and got permission to, yes, it was again a headache, but he reached after that to New York. And in New York, he received, in the United States, he received citizenship, not just received in a regular way. The Senate passed a special bill, special law, that because he is such a respected person to the Jewish nation, the judges will come to his house and they will honor him with a respected and honorably citizenship in a way that no one else received ever in life. Only kings can get such respect. And it's to show us that after the Jew was fighting for the Judaism, after some times, even the governments of the world have to bow down to the same Jew who carries the name of God. I will show you now some short video about the same day that the Rebbe, it is very interesting to see this video, how the Rebbe received and became, and what way they do it. You can see that the Rebbe of our generation, he was young, he was a father-in-law of the previous Rebbe. The previous Rebbe was a father-in-law of the current Rebbe. We see him young and how he's standing in self-nullification in front of the Rebbe. So, Elisheva, if you can share the video, thank you very much.
We're outside 770 here. This is a delegation from the court arriving for the Rebbe's citizenship proceedings. They're greeted by Rabbi Kazanovsky. The Friedrich Rebbe's Rebbetzin is serving refreshments. The Rebbe's son-in-law and successor, the Rebbe, joins him. Rabbi Kazanovsky, Sam Kramer,
That's Supreme Court Justice Leo Reifel, holding the register for the Rebbe to sign. You'll see Rabbi Chadakov for a second on the top left.
This is the Rebbe's Yechidus Zimmer, his private study. In honor of the Rebbe, Congress passed a special law that citizenship could be granted in a private residence.
Look at the gentle way the Rebbe is assisting his father-in-law. Many of the students of the time speak about the Rebbe's tremendous respect, awe really, in his father-in-law's presence, Rabbis Sholem Goldschmidt and Yisrael Gordon.
It was something unusual, but the way the Rebbe was sitting, and this Rebbe, the Ramash that time, the way he was sitting with a Bittel, nicht kein Wort ausgerät, like this in front of a Sefer Torah, that's the way he was sitting, in front of the Rebbe, all the time.
When he sat upstairs by the meal, he used to try to help his father. So the Rebbe used to, in case the spoon wasn't close enough, the Rebbe used to move over the spoon to the Rebbe. He felt the Rebbe wants to drink, he used to pour the drink. But it was done inconspicuously. A lot of respect, never a word spoken. He had this total bittul. The Rebbe, he's a chassid, sitting in the Rebbe. Respect, courtesy, subordination.
That's Yisrael Chanowitz. Judge Philip Kleinfeld. In between the two judges are two clerks of the court. Dr. Nissen Mendel of Merkez Linyone Chinuch in the back there. The petition for naturalization.
With the brown hat is the famous Yiddish writer, Nissen Gordon, who wrote a beautiful account on this event in the prominent Yiddish newspaper, Der Tog.
The Rebbe treated this as a very special event. He's wearing his shtreimel, which is reserved only for special occasions. That's the signature card. The Rebbe is getting ready to take the oath of citizenship, and the Rebbe explains it to his father-in-law. Reb Zev, I understand that just 3 days later after this occurred, you had the merit to be in that room with the Frierdiker Rebbe on the occasion of your Abschedmish. The Frierdiker Rebbe held out his tzitzis for you to kiss.
Yes, that's true.
The clerk, Mr. Antonelli, signs and hands the Rebbe the certificate, and the Rebbe thanks the contingent. The Rebbe says, Abraham, our patriarch, left Aram, which was a self-indulgent land. When he arrived in a place focused on compassion, producing and sharing, he said, "This is where I'd like to settle." Similarly, I found this country a place of compassion, accommodation, and freedom. As an American citizen now, I'd like to thank the United States government, headed by the President, for its kindness and efforts in saving me from Hitler's hands. I give my blessing that the United States may have peace and success. Mr. Kramer asks the Rebbe to reenact some of the proceedings so that the photographers may get better pictures.
I think that for Gem Today, which is preserving and producing videos of the Rebbe at such a high level, this film has a very special meaning. You know, the Rebbe himself arranged this event, and he did this recording of his Rebbe at the highest standard of that time. In 1949, it must have been a major feat to bring a film crew to 770 to record this high-quality color film. I think it's a lesson. The Rebbe was the first to do this, and he set a very high standard for how to value and treat these special moments.
Thank you very much for the great, lovely video. I think it shows the victory. It shows a victory of a Jew who stand against the Soviet Union, stand against Hitler, and after that saved huge part of Am Yisrael and brought them to a situation which today the Judaism is spread out everywhere. We saw and how in the end, not just the Soviet Union respected and apologized, also the United States of America sent a Supreme Court judge to the house of the Rebbe to grant him citizenship. This kind of thing we never seen to anyone else. It shows us that after evil, that there is the evil that trying to erase the work of Jewish. It's always there is, if the Jew will stand strong to his principle, he will be and he will see the salvation. Be'ezrat Hashem, soon enough, all of us will see the final and the salvation of the entire Am Yisrael with the arrival of the Rebbe Moshiach Tzidkeinu B'mera V'yameinu. Amen. Thank you very much, everyone, for participating.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Love you, Rabbi.